Early morning, wake up, everything's fine. Girlfriend, nail. Looking a bit stressed, peels it off. Tells me 2 days ago she's going to go get her nails done and refilled and is excited for it. Now she's peeling it off. I go, babe, what are you doing? Stop ripping your nails off. Girlfriend bursts into tears and loses it. That is my morning. Day 5 of fat to shredded and dealing with partners, stresses, things that happen in your life that are out of the norm. Dieting together, not easy. Dieting extreme together, not easy. But dieting not extreme together, a lot easier. I found throughout my entire life that whenever I'm alone, whenever I don't have a significant other, I'm away from family, potentially even away from friends, my diet, my health is a lot more in check. I think because realistically, all humans are fine by themselves and all actual problems are interpersonal. So we only receive problems or things that are stresses which are based on other human beings. If you think about it, if all the other human beings disappeared, then you'd have no problems, I don't think. So day 5 has started interestingly, but here I am and continuing on. Let me just put you here. All right. Well, look. I increased my calories a little bit yesterday. She also increased her calories a little bit. Looks like something I've said, though, has triggered something in her, an emotional response. I know that when we diet, our cortisol, our stress hormone, is higher. If our stress hormone is higher, and you're a person that has trauma or things that you haven't dealt with before, you're going to experience a higher cortisol, which means that thing to pull the trigger is just going to be like a gun, like a little lighter. So we're going to kick her out. I'm not in a bad way. We've actually discussed this. So we actually have 2 separate houses. And we have covered that during this sort of really extreme phase of where just popping life on pause and getting shredded and getting the weight off, we've realized that it's going to be a stressful time. So we have 2 places. So I'm going to have the conversation today saying, babe, unfortunately, personal responsibility, I can't actually, my stress is too much. Because I do have to deal with the fact that her having an emotional response may be causing me stress or upset higher than it usually would. So therefore, I have to just go, you know what, pause, I'm good, pause, I'm good, everything's okay, but we need to separate. For the next week, let's see how the next week goes while we're separated. We'll still see each other, but you're going to be sleeping at your place, I'm going to be sleeping at my place. And we'll be doing our workouts separately, we'll be doing life separately, and occasionally for bits of time, we're going to meet where it's nice and no pressure, everyone's calm, everyone loves each other. Happy birthday. You know, day 5 is interesting because now I've kind of clicked over, I feel kind of stable, and now I've got to deal with, okay, well, this is my new set point. So once you've started your diet, and it's sort of in a certain calorie range, certain in an exercise range, you're going to realize there's kind of a new person, it's got this new edge, this new kind of level to it, and then you can just sit on this level. But now with this level, I need to make decisions which are going to help me moving forward instead of not help me moving forward. So psychologically, I need to, throughout this entire shred, is reduce stress where I can. Obviously, stress has come up. And with the partner, not many people have the option, but I do have the option because we set it up originally, is to just go, hey, go your separate way. If you're interested what my actual protocol is right now, that I'm moving into shortly, well, as of tomorrow, let's just talk about what my protocol is as of tomorrow because it's a lot sharper. So it's 21 days flat. We do a gym workout, which is usually about an hour, and 2 hours cardio, uphill walking on a treadmill after the gym, and we do that all fasted in the morning. We've had a bunch of water with potassium, sodium in the morning, which is your electrolytes. And when you're not having carbohydrates, you definitely want to have more electrolytes. So potassium is a game changer. What most people don't realize is they think their head's a bit cloudy or not firing, but they're actually potassium deficient. We're meant to be having about 4 grams or 4,000 milligrams a day of potassium. Most people don't get that, very hard to get from food. Bit of a hack in the morning. So water with potassium and salt in the morning rehydrates the muscle. Potentially a pre-workout sometimes, which has got beta alanine, a little bit of creatine and arginine, but it's non-stimulant because I've already got caffeine in there. And then I have 3 shots of coffee in the morning, and I try and time it about 20 to 30 minutes before I arrive at the gym. So that initial peak, I'm already going a little bit down. Otherwise it's too much for the gym itself, for the workout, for the weight workout itself. So we do that. Then throughout the day, I'm eating anywhere between 1,000 to 1,300 calories. Of that, there's about 200 to 220 grams of protein, and the rest of the calories are filled up with fats or a little bit of traces of carbohydrates, because even broccoli has carbohydrates or vegetables have carbohydrates. Small amounts, traces, not much, but that's what I put in. What that means is that my current weight, which is 96 kilos, 97 kilos-ish, and with that expenditure of my calorie burn, my expenditure throughout the day with all my muscle is roughly 3,500 to 4,000 calories. So I am in roughly 2.5 to a 3,000 calorie deficit per day. And that is every single day. It's an extreme deficit. Body will resist it. You'll start dreaming of food, all of this. So I don't not necessarily recommend it, right? This isn't what I'd recommend. I've done this before, so I know what to expect. I know how to handle this. And for me, psychologically, it's actually easier to do something for a short amount of time than a longer period of time where I have to manage a lot more things. Instead, I was like, look, I have a 6-7 week window here where all I've got my business. My business is currently running smoothly. There doesn't need to be major changes done to it. I have gained a weight over and above my bulk over the last year to year and a half. So it's time to drop it and obviously record it and show you the whole way through. But look, we're going to have the conversation. We're going to get her out of the house for the next week, most likely. She's going to say, no. I'm going to be like, look, babe, it's for us. It's not you, it's me. And a lot of the times is when we look at a problem, just like the girlfriend, we always think that it's them that's the problem. It's them that's the problem. It's them that should change. If only she didn't. If only she did. If only she was. But for me, I realized it's not about, it's whenever you put or an attack on somebody, people do weird things like they defend or they go, no, it wasn't me, or no, I am right, or because you might be telling them that you're just a bad girl. You're not a good girlfriend. And they get triggered and they're like, but I am a good girlfriend. Because many people's self-esteem or self-core isn't like really firmly sharp and you don't feel great about yourself. So instead of, hearing what the criticism is from the other person and go, I wonder why that's happening. Let me change it, or let me maybe explain why that's happening and let's work through it together. They get triggered. So instead, take personal responsibility, because in theory, I'm not that smart that I should think that whatever I'm thinking is your problem is definitely your problem. And if I know I also when I say something's your problem, it might get a triggered response. Why don't I look at what I can do differently? Well, look, I am a bit stressed. I am running at a big deficit, and it has been a while, and I might be a little edgy. So you know what? I'm a little edgy. Let's take a week off, and you just go to your house, I'll stay here, and we'll take a week off and let that edge settle. If I take personal responsibility, the person doesn't feel attacked, they don't feel triggered, and they're like, okay, well, this other person is saying this thing, so that's fine. You can't do much with that. So that's what I'm going to do. But today's day 5. Day 5 of getting from fat to shredded. No vascularity still in my arms, only a little bit. And I tell you what, the hardest thing has been for me is I've put on quite a bit of muscle over the last 1.5 years. I still remember back when I decided to start social media because I was like, look, I want to make an impact to people. I was like, look, I've got a book out there, it sells, video content is good to get out there, and I want to show people that they don't realize that your weight and your health actually has a massive correlation to how you feel about yourself, how you feel in your body, how the world reacts to you. So I wanted to make a difference, and I went online, and the comments that I got was that you're too skinny. Now, I looked at myself and I was like, I'm not too skinny. In fact, I'm very muscular, like very muscular. So much so that I feel like it was a bit too much muscle. But I guess somewhere down the rabbit hole, it kind of got to me. And in the last sort of 1.5 years where my diet has been more or less at maintenance, I still kept training every day going to the gym. And I've probably put on anywhere between 6 to 10 kilos of muscle. And I've also started training a lot heavier. The world kind of responds to you more positively when you have more muscle, which is interesting. Like, men want to kind of bro down with you, and women start talking to you more because you've got more muscle. So it's almost like you exude a protector mode because I'm large. But I've always used my intellect to protect myself if I'm like an animal. So the fact that my physicality is now giving off a vibe is kind of cool, but for me it's kind of uncomfortable to be in a larger size body. But I like training for muscles, so it's like, I've kind of done this to myself. But muscle is easy to lose if I need to, so I've got no stress about that. But that's kind of where I'm at. Day 5, it's a bit stable. It's like a new stable. It's I feel cleaner, I feel sharper, I feel stable, but still quite a short patience. Short patience, but taking personal responsibility no matter what happens. Anyway, hope this was valuable. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.